Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to the show. AOR here, and in today's episode, I'm going to be doing a few things. First, a tour of the new base that you can see behind me tucked away into the hill, and a couple of missions that I've been putting off that I ought to be doing. I really should, and I'm going to, I promise. So, starting off, this is the planet Styx, or the map Styx, if you will. And I've got just a couple of fish farms going with these advanced fishing traps. Base is up there tucked into the side of the mountain. I've just been running around this morning doing chores around the base because things were left AFK for a while, and as a result, they stopped working. So I've built this powered creature deterrent. If you take a look at the map, it just keeps specific critters from going inside of a certain radius right here. And the reason for that is I had a gargantuan come and kill my last pet or mount. So this is technically Loki 2, if I'm being honest. Yeah, it was pretty sad. So creature deterrent prevents that from happening. That pod right there is my buddy Chief's. He was kind enough to drop in and help me a little bit with the building aspects of the base. Got like a little power generator down here. This is the food and water for Loki. Here's the orbital exchange interface. I use that to bring down all kinds of equipment. It's very handy. I actually keep one on me at all times. If we work our way up the stairs here, we get to the main platform of the base. So I've got 3 solar panels. Unfortunately, because we're in this valley, there's very limited amount of sunlight, and so that wind turbine, or excuse me, that water wheel down there really helps to keep the base operating. To be honest, when I first made that, it was specifically to just power the water pump. And so things kind of have like their own use and purpose here. I was trying to be as intentional as I could be when I built the base. But in this storage room here, I have the foundry. Now the foundry was used to craft all my titanium weapons, as well as the compound bow, and a few other things as well. But yeah, I definitely needed the foundry at one point. It's tricky because now I don't really feel like I need it until I need to repair all of the titanium items. So moving on into the base here, it's definitely not complete. It's taken quite a while just to get to this point, in fact. So in this room here, this is my lab. I have the chemistry bench here. You can do things like make fertilizers, pills, volatile substance, basic medical supplies. Got my skeleton, lab coats. All of these items are more or less from missions, campaigns, operations, that type of thing. I've recovered them and brought them here to be used, not just as decorations, but some of them are pretty functional, like these plastic crates can be used for storage. It is quite nice. Here is more medical lab equipment that I've recovered from other missions. And so when I do these missions, it is pretty tough to like try to figure out which items I want and don't want to basically keep with me. Some of this glass that you see, this reinforced glass, was repurposed from those buildings, from those bases. Probably 30% of the glass you see here was in fact repurposed. The rest of it I've had to basically make from scratch, which, as you know, can be pretty well, expensive. I'm gonna real quick, I'm just gonna change the save time on this thing because it's causing a bit of screen lag, isn't it? Let's do maybe gameplay, and then there it is. Yeah, let's shrink that to like 5 minutes. That should help stabilize the game a little bit. And then in the actual base itself, I've got just a couple of crafting stations down here. I tried to keep it themed as best as I could. Doesn't always work. There's a floating chicken. So I've got basic cooking stuff, more of these from different missions and campaigns I've done. The deep freeze, which turns off at night if you're not careful. This is my chicken, Elizabeth, and that's her Cluckingham Palace, and she is the queen of the Cluckingham Palace. I decided to move the chicken coop into the interior of the base because all the other times I've put a chicken coop outside, the chicken doesn't really last very long, unfortunately. So this is to basically keep her alive, because it's a task and chore in and of itself, just keeping her alive. And so more storage, some rustic equipment. You'll see that kind of sprinkled around the base here. And then I've got this double bunk bed. That was from my first campaign that I had done. Brought home some storage to tuck under the bed there. You'll have to excuse the herbalism bench. It's just sitting here from previous mission that I had done, where I had to make a couple of items. I failed that mission, to be honest. And then we got the kitchen area here. The plumbed sink was part of a mission. I stole that, brought that home with me, as well as the soap dispensers. It's purely aesthetic, decoration only. And then the others I built here at base and put them up here. So this is the kitchen area. It is nice having the electric stove compared to like the biofuel stove. We got our workshop up here. Basic storage. These equipment lockers I also got from missions, so bear that in mind. Kind of your generic basic crafting stuff, you know. The repair bench was like, I think, one of the bigger items. I think the electric furnace, definitely kind of expensive, but everything else, for the most part, relatively easy to do and make. We got a storm coming in, no problem there. I had fish in here, but I'm learning if you go away from keyboard and leave your computer on overnight, there's not really a good way to know what happened overnight. So kind of a bummer. I'm gonna pause for just a second from the tour, grab a couple fish and throw them in there for you guys. So we got this storm rolling in, so I'll be kind of quick, but I saw these two and they're pretty rad to look at, so I'm gonna take these back up. Okay, so here at the aquarium, yeah, these emerald dinos, I believe they're called, or Diano. I don't, excuse the pronunciation, but you just toss these in there, and then you have some pretty rad fish in the aquarium now. So I like that. It looks pretty cool. I put up a few paintings, just the different ones that I thought would help add a little bit of color to that back wall. I think the decorating of the base is probably the more challenging part for me. Most everything that I put up as decorations or tables around the base, like in this general area, I waited till probably like the last couple hours of the base builds to put up, to be honest, just because I was routing power underneath the entire base. And I don't know, I thought this area would be more protected from exposure to storms. It's definitely not, as I came to find out. It's not like being inside of a cave, like properly inside of a cave. And so I had to be a little bit picky and choosy about where to put everything initially, as I was like moving power and pipes around the house. Inside of here is my greenhouse area. Let me just step inside. So there is a beehive in here, and yes, the chicken coop is extended into the base portion that is the greenhouse. I don't know how to avoid that. It just kind of happened, to be honest. And so in here is what remains of the beehive being in here. We've run out of bees, but that's okay. I've got more in the storage area of the workshop. So I've got like a random selection of plants in here. I basically picked things that I needed to feed the critters, and then just a couple of things I wanted to kind of mess with to see what kind of recipes I could make with these items. The sugar cane specifically for the sugar cubes, because I saw that as one of the recipes in the cooking stations, and I don't know, I this has kind of evolved a little bit. I feel like once you get all the food recipes and things you want, food just kind of spoils pretty quickly. And so then the real trick becomes like food preservation, which is why I have the deep freeze. But again, the power must have shut off while I was away from the keyboard, and so I don't actually know what happened. There was way more food. Some things were off when I got back on the computer. I may not be doing AFK very much more in the future. I'm gonna go ahead and turn back on the wind turbines. I turned them off for the storm. Get some power back going. There we go. And then, yeah, I've got back here through the back door. Storm's going kind of crazy outside still, I apologize. So inside of this cave, I do have a dehumidifier. I don't know that it's working. It must be off. It is off. There we go. I see that these are also off. Probably because they're finally full, which is pretty exciting actually. Just make a short work of these cave worms real quick. Beehive. Let me try and finagle my way up here. There we go. So the nice thing about this cave is there are bees in it as well, which helps with getting access to queen bees, which you need to basically make bees inside of your beehive. And then I installed these electric deep drills. They are very handy, especially because when you are away from keyboard, they just keep going all the time. So it's really nice. I'll have to come back and grab the iron out of that guy, but I've desperately needed copper. So storm's still going. Not much longer though. Those wind turbines are taking damage from the storm. Just gonna toss these into here real quick. What will fit anyway. Let me toss the rest in here. So I kind of lucked out with a couple of the things that are immediately around the base. There's no doubt about that. And then in regards to the farming aspect, I don't know, I really wanted to get into like the farming carts and the different farming equipment that's available with like your mounts and your tames. However, from what I've noticed, it's not as effective or useful. Like you're better off almost just using these and just going by hand. Oh, she's a silly chicken. So, I don't know, it's definitely not perfect, but I think the base, for all intents and purposes, it definitely serves, it's definitely what it needs to be. I'll just put it that way. It's not perfect, there's still a lot to do here. It's not even done being built, for that matter. But in here, I've just got a couple of outdoor fire things, a smoker, campfire grill, ranching station, and then this is kind of the water and powerhouse for the entire base. So I've got I don't even know, 6-7 of these advanced battery packs. They each hold 6 million when fully charged, and I think those are kilowatt hours if I'm not mistaken. So a total of 4,000 kilojoules, and I think a joule is like another 10,000. I don't actually know how it works, to be honest, but There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 water barrels, each holding 150 liters. For fear, if the water pump stopped working for any reason, there's, quite a bit of water here on hand at all times. And I've just got like basic storage here in the base, storage facility. And then this industrial table also came from a mission campaign. And then here's some additional lockers, also from a mission campaign. So I basically jacked all these posters. They're kind of fun. You can basically put in your own message in there. Up here is the contact device. It's got 2 upgrades on it. It's just missing the Norix boss upgrade. Here's a water rain catch barrel. It's been pretty handy. Honestly, I didn't think it was going to be that effective. I should probably repair these while I'm up here. Here's our wind turbines, just as an alternative power generator and source. And then we got our platinum lightning rods. I don't actually know how many of them you need. I just know that there's like, I think a space. Channels lightning safely toward the ground, saving structures from fire destruction, can be connected to a power source. Yeah, I guess the only like real benefit is it protects the base from impacts from lightning, but also you can harness that power. So it is fun like watching the base jump to full power during lightning storms. Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of fun. That part at least is pretty exciting, kind of entertaining. And then, just more posters that I stole. Make sure this is at 100%. They can actually take quite a bit of damage, I've noticed. So that's super nice. And yeah, quite the view. Honestly, I thought that this place would be a little different. But again, it's exactly what it needs to be. I think the plan is to basically enclose this entire hallway. I was gonna go 2 stories high, so two walls high, but then I was like, I don't really know if that's really completely necessary, so I just think like a nice little hallway to tie in this area would be kind of nice. I'm not sure what kind of decorations I'll put up in here yet, but that's the other part I feel like I struggle the most with, is like the aesthetic piece of the base, and then just kind of knowing where things should be. So I've kind of just been building it as I go. I just find that's the best approach. It's like I don't know what I need necessarily until I need it, and I think that's its own struggle itself, is like you want a home for everything, but you don't want it just like, I don't know, this workshop was a good example. There's like double stacks of equipment because I haven't made time with the organization piece. Like I intended to move some of those items, like the advanced textiles bench, into here somewhere. Probably right there in that spot. If I'm being completely honest, I just haven't made time for that. I think you could spend like hours indoors at your own base, just cleaning things up, doing chores around the house, emptying out the fish traps. Food preservation in and of itself could take many hours, and so it's fun for the most part. I would say it is kind of its own mission, to be honest, to just like maintain the base. But I think it's good to make time for other things, like actual missions, which is what we're going to do now. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the base tour. Like I said, it definitely needs more work. It's obviously not complete, but it's exactly where I need it to be before I head out and do the next operation. So I'm kind of thinking, I don't know, there's a couple that I was looking at earlier that looked really fun. We did open up all the biomes, so that's really nice. There was one for crafting. Is it this? Black wolf throwing knife, black wolf arrow, black wolf knife. There's like a crafting, is this? Scorpion seat, hanging scorpion trophy, scorpion tail trophy. Yeah, I think that sounds pretty rad. Oasis. Looks just like a fishing mission. Yeah, I'd say the fishing mission sounds pretty rad.
This one's for Sinitai. They want it done quick and clean.
Okay.
Sinitai have the best sats in the sky, so they'll be watching you.
We don't need the contact device in the hotbar anymore. Let's drop down like the sickle. I think my fishing rod is, yeah, here we go, in here. Okay, so head to designated fishing location, thumb mouse 2. Designated fishing spot is... Am I blind? Oh, there it is. Okay, so we're gonna have to drop down into the desert biome. Probably from down here. So that's gonna take a little bit to get there. And if we're going to the desert biome, we're gonna do a little bit of prep before we head down there. I was in the middle of getting ready and there's a flash storm coming. So definitely gonna have to wait till that passes. But in the meantime, I'm gonna craft some basically meds that will help us down there in the different biomes. And then I'm gonna drop some down in the orbital exchange as well. Yeah, every time the base gets struck, you can see the supply like jump to like over 1 million. It's kind of funny. But the base is now full on power. I just wanted to see if it would jump again. It's kind of funny watching that happen. Oh, I don't know. It's about to pass, so maybe not. Yeah, I guess that's it. Those wind turbines take a little bit of damage, but that's okay. They take damage really easily, it seems like. Okay, so I've got this med cabinet here, and inside of it was my medical satchel. It's got quite a bit in it, to be honest, so I'm just going to bring that with us. And that should dot our I's and cross our T's there. We've got ammo. I don't think we have anything to worry about at this point. So we can go ahead and head out. I've been using the bow for stealth hunting at this point. Alright, hold the fort down while I'm gone, would you? We're going to head south. We're going to basically drop down past the river, and then we're going to go up into this way. Drop down through like I-11, J-12, and then the cave to get into this Arctic from like, oh excuse me, not the Arctic, from the conifer riverlands into the desert biome is like right in here, like J13, so that's the way we're going. Just gonna head south. Pretty quickly run into some local population here. That's the carbon arrows, or is it composite? Actually, I don't remember. Composite arrows. Yeah, they're nice. Give you that. I'll take the leather and the fur. I might be crafting a little bit once we get to where we're going, or if we need to sleep on the way there too, I suppose. That's always a possibility. Kind of seems like once it gets dark, I feel like I try to sleep anyway, just so that the base... I don't know. I always worry about the base while I'm gone. Only because when I'm gone AFK, it seems like there's definitely something always going down. I don't know why that is. Like with all that water and all that electricity, you would think there'd be no problems. But something happened. Power went off multiple times because the deep freezer shut off, obviously, and the aquarium was off. And that's why all the fish died. So that's tough. But nice thing is you can always get more fish. I'm gonna drop like pin right there. So we've got to go around all of this up here. That is the one tricky thing about the landscape here on sticks. The landscape definitely funnels you into like specific areas. Navigating isn't terrible if you are at least a little familiar, but it definitely feels a bit like you're going in circles sometimes. We should have grabbed a few more food buffs before we left, but that's okay. We definitely have enough on us that will be fine. We can make these work. We can also grab stuff along the way. There's berries, watermelon, pumpkins, all of which will definitely keep us fed. I'm not worried about food per se. It's just having the food buffs are nice. We can craft these berries into almost like a berry granola bar is what it feels like. And the recipe, so it's 10 seeds and then 10 berries. So you can also get seeds from any of the fibrous plants. And then all you have to do is, this is why I keep this seed pouch on me actually. So I'll just drop like these, for example, into here. And then we can go ahead and craft. The only problem is having a sickle with either the attachment to reap seeds, or you get the Icarus sickle, because that's the only sickle that I'm aware of that's like stock right out of the box that you can have that will actually get you seeds. Everything else, all the sickles, as far as I can tell, they all need an attachment to do that. Got a little bear up here. And we leveled up. Just gonna grab my arrow back. And then I think I'm gonna take this stuff as well. I might as well take this with me. I don't know that I'll actually end up using all of this stuff. I do think it would be a good idea though, just while I'm here, to quickly grab some wood before we head out. Just in case there's a little bit of structure building we gotta do. So I got fiber and actually I'm gonna grab a little bit more wood. There we go. And there's a Gargar. Super love. These are everywhere now. Not actually. That was sarcastic. Wouldn't be a bad idea to craft some bone arrows. Since we got the bow, we could do that. I also might do the bone javelin as well. Have a couple spears to throw around just for funsies. Yeah, these gargantuan can definitely mess you up. Doesn't take very much for them to absolutely murk you. Just gonna go ahead and grab my arrows back. Sometimes you can get lucky, you can just grab them. Not every time, though. Oh, another wolf. That was fast. He's just mad. Okay, so it looks like we're getting a bit closer. Another gargantuan. Or gargar. Do you like that Assassin's Creed jump? Just gonna make our way down here. It's definitely a nice biome. You got like the Arctic mountains, it seems like. On either side, too. Oh, I got stuck. Little cave down there. I don't actually know this is one I've been into yet. Let's grab out the boomstick. Oh. There's some exotics though. Sweet. I think once I get into the desert biome, I'm gonna drop a dropship and just send those up. Honestly, I think it's I don't know why people don't take more advantage of that, but it definitely seems like another cave. Definitely seems like something that's relatively easy to do. You just drop into a cave and just check if it has exotics. Some silica. Some bees. It's funny that the layout of this cave is almost exactly like the layout of the cave that's next to my base. Like almost the exact same layout. That's hilarious. I was hoping for a queen bee, just a worker bee. I'm gonna leave him there. Oh. Got stuck on a deer. Okay, so we should be able... Is that another cave? That looks pretty cavey to me. What about you guys? Let's just see if there's any exotics in here. Hello? Whoa. This looks like a tier 3 cave. I bet there's some exotics in here. Oh yeah, there it is. Gonna grab these. Sweet. I don't actually know the locations of all these caves yet. They're definitely not committed to memory like on Olympus, at least for the time being. I really need to get myself a cave scanner that way I can run around and mine all the exotics that are on this persistent map. I'm gonna get out of here somehow. Okay, I am out of that little I don't know what you would call that. Little valley. Just gonna make my way up to the cave that will let us into the next biome. Looks like it's back here. Yep, that's it. The next biome. Yeah, if those... Here's the thing. I don't know if that's just the color of the stone, but that looks snow-capped to me. What do you guys think? Is that snow-capped or am I tripping? Because I'm pretty sure those look like snow-capped mountains. Super rad spot. I loved this area. I was pretty convinced I would do a base build back here. I don't know. I have a problem. I just want to build a base everywhere. It must be the colonizer in me. But it is really hard to look at this location and not think, man, this would be a perfect place for a base build. Look at it. You got yourself a giant moat. Actually, I think I'm going to drop pod here. Let's do that. Let's do this guy. Quest equipment. I want the fish device. And then I'll put our exotics in that pod. Boom. Okay. Should be it. Yeah, I'm curious what the fish device says is here in this water. Let's take a look. Zone quality low. I'm actually genuinely surprised by that. I'm not gonna lie. I thought for sure this place would have some rad fish, but it doesn't, apparently. But yeah, this spot is pretty rad. I think this would be a dope spot for a base build, man. This is like probably the high spot on the base right here. So you would lay your yeah, I guess your starting post here, and that would give you your height for the rest of the area. You would definitely want an advanced creature deterrent device, because if there's gargars spawning on the island, that would be bad news for whatever base you have. Regardless of what material you have, it's definitely going to be able to be destroyed by that dude. So those dudes are jacked. Yeah, I was really surprised. I thought for sure this place would have more. Huh. Iron's not bad though. You could get away with iron. The problem is too is like you want these creatures, right? You want like some of them at least. But the Gargar though, that would be a problem. Yep, that would be a problem. There's corn that grows here. What else grows here? Probably berries, some pumpkins, just in time for spooky season. Soybeans. Yeah, honestly, this would be a pretty rad place. Got some cocoa over here. Yeah, that would be a rad base build. I saw some watermelon. Yep, watermelon. You could do a pretty rad base build for sure. I don't know. It's really tucked out of the way. The reason I picked this spot specifically, I wanted something as a hub into like all these different biomes. And it seemed like kind of the strategy was to just build either here, like near J7, or somewhere down here. And I opted for this area here. But yeah, I'm looking at this place. I don't know. It's rad for sure. But so is this one down here. So is this one up here. Up here is rad. I think this place is the most visually stunning that I've seen so far on Styx. So yeah, I think there are a plethora of awesome places to build on Styx. I think it just depends on whatever flavor you fancy that afternoon. But I'm gonna head over to that cave, jump into the other side, and get going on our mission, guys. Okay, we are in the cave. If I remember correctly, there are no cave worms in these like multi-biome cave systems and tunnels. But I feel like it is really easy to get lost in here. And there's the Arctic, or gosh, not Arctic, sorry guys. The desert biome. It's like complete opposite of Arctic. What do you know? Right out the door. Gargar Banks. Hey look, it's Zion's National Park. And Arches National Park. Mostly Arches. I do think it'd be funny if someone were to build right inside of that arch. If you built up especially, you wouldn't have anything to worry about. But you could definitely put a base up there for sure. That would be rad. Get some food, some water storage up there. Look at this place, man. I'll tell you what though, this game, Unreal Engine 5, it's pretty rad. I think the devs did a really good job designing this place. I just think I'd be kind of bored in the desert. I don't know. There's definitely things to hunt. You know, you can find food and water for sure. I think the desert biome on Olympus, though, just seems way more realistic than probably this biome. I don't know, it's kind of arid. Look at that. It is the desert after all, but you know. But if you guys want, I'll leave it up to you guys. If you guys want me to build a base out here, just let me know. So you can build next to like these waterfalls. Absolutely gorgeous. I would be all for that. Little island build right here. That sounds actually really nice. Look at that. This place is beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. There's coconut trees everywhere. Look at them. Just chilling out there. Free water. Mm-hmm. Alright, so what's the fish scanner say about this area? I'm curious. Zone quality high. Okay, so I'm seeing saltwater fish. Huh. Dude, let's get the pole out. Start fishing this. The worst thing is, though, is I brought a freshwater lure with me. And only one freshwater lure. I thought for sure. I guess we're about to find out. I suppose I could remove the lure too. That wouldn't be a problem. Do saltwater fish bite freshwater lures? Questions we're gonna... Oh, there we go. An emerald dorado. That just looks like a mahi. Every mahi I've ever seen ever. A 93% quality fish too. I don't even know if I've ever caught a fish that high. Dude, this thing is massive. 1,000 millimeters. That's epic. Let's get a screenshot for that, guys. Nice. That is the title of today's episode and thumbnail. Oh, we got a storm coming. Desert winds. Lovely. Okay, well, Yeah, we're gonna craft like a just quick temporary structure, just something to get out of the storm with. I'm gonna do a 4x4, or excuse me, a 2x2. And if I can drop it into the ground at least somewhat, it'll be stable. Oh, too low. Right there. 2, 3, and 4. Some of it's sticking into the ground, but that's exactly what we want. Let's do 8 walls. Man, this storm moves fast. Jeez. Need to speed this up a little bit. I'm not going to worry about a door right now. We don't need a door. We just need a quick shelter. Okay, not that much. We just need 4. There we go. And since we're stuck inside, we're... Ooh. Let's craft some sticks. How about that? Not quite that much. Oh. Our base is already taking damage. Oh, yeah, that doesn't help either. We literally have a tree stuck inside of our base. That's hot. Let me just, young coconut. Oh, I don't have any more room in my inventory. That's why. Well, that changes things a bit. Let's, combine these two. That's an easy one. Oh, still don't have enough room. Let's see. What can we drop here? We definitely don't need all this leather. That's for sure. And then let's throw our wall back up. And build a campfire ring. Perfect. And we'll grab all these sticks. Yeah, grab them with 2 hands. There you go. Oh, we're full. Okay. Let's throw some meat on there. Oh, we got too much on there. There we go. Sweet. Storm should be passing any minute now. This thing is rad. Emerald Dorado. We could convert that to chunks as well. Why does it sound like the base is falling apart? What's happening right now? Wow, that storm was intense. Honestly, I didn't think it was going to be that bad. Set up a fishing hunt. Wow, a fishing hut. A cooking station, a potbelly stove, a fishing bench, and a drying rack. Nice. Well, cooking station, potbelly stove. So we're going to need, like, the ability to legitimately craft. I am glad I brought my dropship beacon. Because, yeah, I have a solid answer for that. Be okay. I think the door should go here. Let's do deploy. Make us a door. Let's go ahead, deploy. Boom. And I'm just going to throw these on there as well. Sure. Okay. Storm's almost done. I think I have enough to craft a... I do not, somehow. How do I not? No, I do. I'm just gonna go ahead and sleep. Build this base in the morning. Okay. Let's grab this other stuff that I dropped earlier. Try to keep this going at 100%. Storm's just about to pass. Then we can get out there. What I can do is just go ahead and call my dropship in. I'm thinking, oh, this is a good spot for her right here. Bam. Did that just not work? What just happened? That was weird. Can I not use it right here? What's happening? Is it like angry about the spot? Are you guys seeing this? Am I tripping or is this like not working? Let's try it again for the folks in the back. It's like starting the animation, but then doesn't actually do it. Look, a croc. Is that a cougar coming after me? Look, we got another croc coming. This is my island. You're not welcome here. Go away, Jeffrey. Cool. Okay, so I am confusion. Come on, baby. Do the thing. What's happening? Is it just like not work? This is interesting. I've used this like 100 times. Literally never seen that happen before. Since we're going to be here in the desert biome for as long as we are. Hot coffee. Nice. I don't know why I did that. Probably for our... You know what? I'm going to just drop me an empty one. How about that? Let's go workshop. Gadgets. We're going to do an empty and then we want probably a couple of these that will actually work. Is that another croc? It is. Hey there, croc. Okay, where did our pod land? Whee! Nile. Crocodile. Oh. Little piranha action. Okay, so we got a dropship pod. Delivery station. Is it just because it's an island? Is that why? Like, I wonder if I could drop it here. If I were to just, like, literally use it right here. What would it think about that? Oh my hell. Well. Okay. Yeah, the game probably thought I was trying to drop it into the water. That's probably how it registered. Game logic, bro. Freaking game logic, man. Well, the dropship's on its way. There she blows. So inside of my dropship, I've got, you know, crafting supplies, a workbench, things of that nature. Whoa. Okay. It appears that I removed one of the most critical components. Well, that's awesome. I have 2 furnaces in there, 2 different methods of cooking, a cot, ammo, of course. Well, I guess I'm crafting a crafting bench because I failed to plan for that. Let's throw some just extra stuff in there. Okay. We're probably going to need the furnace. I think our potbelly stove's going to require iron and maybe copper. I don't know yet. I could probably swap out our stone campfire pit, our little camp ring in there, for the actual MCX. Look at that dead crocodile. That's wild. Oh. Freaking piranhas, man. The nice thing is, though, is once this is built, guys, we can actually use this indefinitely. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pick this up, swap it out for this guy. And then we'll get our furnace going over here in the corner, like that. And start tossing our meats in here. Just get this guy going. I'm gonna swap this in the front. We've already got meat spoiling pretty quickly. Ooh, let me save the wood actually. Okay, so while it's cooking, we're gonna put this down. And then the potbelly stove, 40 iron ingots, 60 copper, and 10 epoxy. So we're going to need to craft mortar and pestle as well. So we would need a cave somewhere near here. And I don't see one other than the one we came in on, which is way back over here somewhere. So we'd have to run past worm territory to get there, or you just do like I always do, and instead of doing all that nonsense, I'm just going to drop me some. Request equipment. We're going to do workshop, resources. We need 40. So that should be enough. I think it said copper too, eh? I didn't say that. Potbelly stove, yeah, copper, and then we're gonna need some silica as well. Okay, let's go workshop. So do one of these, one of those, probably nothing else. So let's go ahead and jump over. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, and coal. And we don't need anything else in there. Fortunately, we should be just fine. I'm going to leave this here for now. We'll probably end up using it again. Yeah, I think it's interesting that they won't actually land on the island. It's like the game really does think that like the island is just registering as water. Let's go ahead and grab this. Okay, let's see here. We're going to need some rope anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and craft rope with the leather that's on my person. And then we can move this, destroy it entirely. We don't need that anymore. We'll drop the excess stone. And then the charcoal, we could probably craft a water filtration, another sandstorm. Okay, so it says light sandstorm. So that's nice. That should be good. We can drop probably excess sticks. We didn't find those just about anywhere. We could just consume this. And this. And that. And that. And that. Okay, that should be enough. Cool. And I'll leave this dropship here just in case we need it for something else that I can't think of. Exotics we find. I don't know. But let's go back and hide from the storm and start crafting. So we need a cooking station, potbelly stove, fishing bench, and drying rack. In fact, we could probably do the drying rack now, can't we? No. We need more wood. Okay. I'm gonna craft this guy, though. Man, that storm is wild. I feel like it would be exciting living out here, though. Okay, so let's go ahead and start tossing stuff into here. That we can toss in here. Craft our mortar and pestle. Okay, and then for all the iron we need, toss those in. I did bring down some coal. And then we need copper as well. Okay, so that should be enough iron and copper for everything we'll be doing here. Between the cooking station and potbelly stove. Cooking station requires 4. Potbelly stove requires 40. 6 copper, 10 epoxy. So, epoxy, we got hella bones. Oh. There we go. Deploy. So with those bones, we can craft all that. Oh, I don't know if we're gonna have enough for 10 though. We definitely don't. Okay, so we could do tree sap and sulfur. We might be able to find sulfur out there. Dude, look at this storm. This is crazy. Look at this, guys. Imagine living in this constantly. That would be kind of fun, actually. Okay, so potbelly stove. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna kind of chill for a bit. Those all need to smelt anyway, so we might as well catch some fish, you know? And the storm's not gonna stop us from having a good time. Yeah, we got some room in here. Get her fishy fishy. Yeah, we definitely got storm exposure. It's a good thing I got armor on. Oh, there we go. A Titan Piranha. 71% quality. This guy's psycho. Look at him go. Whoa. I wonder what kind of selfie this would look like. Sandstorms and catching piranhas, guys. That's the title of today's episode. That's a beautiful thumbnail. Hell yeah. Okay. I wish there was a way to release these. I think even if you hit cancel, yeah, it just puts it in your inventory anyway. I hope the devs introduced that as a feature. I think catch and release would be kind of rad. I mean, it is a survival game, I understand, so people probably wouldn't be releasing fish, but I think they should. That would be a nice feature. Okay, so how's this thing going? So we don't have room for anything. That's why. Nothing's been cooking. Lovely. Yeah, you know what? I am going to bust that thing out. Where'd it go? Where's my dropship at? Oh, there it is. Whee! You know, if we hide under the water, the storm can't get us. Oh, we're still getting storm exposure. Never mind. That does not work the way I thought it would. Wishful thinking. Storm is about to pass, though, and then we should be okay for a little bit. What's happening? There we go. I had a mortar and pestle in here. Bro, what was I thinking? Wow. Okay, well. We could probably leave the concrete furnace. Salting station, I think, would be nice to have here at this base, but that is neither here nor there. For now, at least. We just need to craft some things. Get this base rolling. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this into our inventory, because we got this handy dandy cot, and that looks cozier anyway, that we're not sleeping on the ground. We can destroy that, and then let's get this guy going. This guy is the bee's knees, man. Look at all these slots. Let's grab a couple of these, since it's taking 5 ever. Let's do these first, and then these. It cooks pretty fast too, I think. Murata sticks. Okay, let's go ahead and start eating some of these. Let's move that. Okay, let's go ahead and deploy. We need some fresh water going. Got charcoal already. And our water container is empty. Finally, some fresh water out here. Cool. Stays nice and cool for us as well. Okay, so I feel like this base could benefit from a little bit of structure reinforcement. Let's do 5. And then I think I'll probably drop a couple of trees away from our base, hopefully. Oh, okay. We didn't get any coconuts from that? Dude, that is fake news. Interesting. Okay, well, let's do, I think, 1 there. And this looks like it's making contact with the ground, so we should be okay there, as well as there. This, I'm not convinced is touching the ground. Is it? I don't think so. Let's do 1 more. And let's do 1 there. I think it'd be kind of rad Brad if we had maybe 2 there. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Give us like a little front porch, you know? Like, would it be rad if the base was right here, right over the water, so you could just step outside? What am I doing? We should definitely do that. Bro, that's crazy. What have I been thinking this entire time? Okay, how much room do we have in here? Not much. And I can't get this thing to work, to drop anywhere on the island. Nowhere on the island will it drop. No. No, it won't. What about here? Nope. Okay, guys, maximum effort. Give me like, I don't know, just like 2 seconds of your time. 1, 2. Okay, that's better. So I've built a new version of our fishing hut. I'm going to leave these windows open and exposed so that you can actually fish out the window. I believe that is a thing. I did it at least in one of my last bases, so I'm hoping that's still a feature. Nope, it is not. Maybe if you crouch first. Nope, still not a thing. Okay, so maybe then what I do is I rip out 1, 2 of these, maybe even 3. I like that idea. Let's do 3. Let's do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we just put in 4 walls? 5 walls? Let's see if I did the math right. So we need 1 facing here. We do window, door, window, window, and then we can rip out this guy because we definitely won't need that anymore. And then let's put our beam here. That way we have like an outdoor porch we can fish off of. I think that'll work. So let's do destroy, put up this door here. Yeah, I like it. I like it. We can do our potbelly stove there. It'd be tight in here for sure, but that's okay. And then maybe we just do 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just need 3 more windows. Can I do 3 more windows? No, I can't. But now I can. We just need 3. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and install these windows. I've also moved our water filtration system, so it's close by. I actually need to move this back now. Can I take all? Nope, not quite. Let's just drop some of this stuff in here, just for the time being. That should work. You know, and to be honest, I don't know if the desert gets any lightning storms, but I assume that if I did, that'd be the one thing that would absolutely murk this base. So for that reason, I have crafted the lightning rod. If I can get it up there, right there. Perfect. Cool. That's good enough for me. I think this should work for what we need it to do. The only thing that remains to be crafted, guys, is epoxy. So let's go ahead and dump all of these back into there. That should be about perfect. We got the epoxy. We need to make 7 more epoxy to get our potbelly stove, which means we need a lot of bones. So I'm going to go ahead and drop some of this stuff back into our orbital exchange because we don't need them here. Let's do the fiber and sticks. Let's drop all this into here. That way we have maximum crafting supplies on hand at all times. So these guys we can drop back into our dropship. We can't, unfortunately, with this, so we may just keep this in our inventory for the time being. I want to keep everything that we can and want separated. So that looks good to me. So really, all that remains, guys, for our potbelly stove, yeah, just 7 epoxy. So let's go ahead and do a bit of hunting here. Yeah, so I've moved everything kind of neatly over to that area. And I think now, ooh, okay, that's one thing to keep in mind. I think I do want more beams for support on that thing. I think it'll help with the base and any kind of storm that we may be facing. But that dropship pod that I left over there, I'm going to go ahead and upload these things back. We don't need them anymore. We know what kind of fish is here. Oh, I thought he was going to eat me. He's a cool fish. Okay, so let's do that guy. I think for the time being, we can definitely do this guy. We can put this guy back up. I'll hang on to the hydrazine and the cooker, probably even. I'm trying to think of what else we could throw back up there right now, just to like empty up a little bit. I'm gonna put the track rifle up. We got the shotgun still. Ooh, maybe I'll keep the rifle, put the shotgun up, because it needs to be repaired anyway. Yeah, that looks good. Let's go ahead and send that back up. Okay, so now we need to do some hunting. We need to do quite a bit of it and get as many bones as we can for that epoxy. Yeah, I was convinced that I would tear this all down after I left, but honestly I think, knowing what I do now, I'm definitely bringing Chief and Dome back out here, and possibly even King, to do some fishing over here. It's a pretty rad location. Okay, here we go. We got a boar, and if I can just get this dude's tusks, we'll be big chillin'. We'll just drop this Ellie. Okay, with the Ellie down and this boar, we should definitely have more than enough. Okay, let's go ahead and get this guy cut up as well. Boom. I was hoping we could take the tusks. I think you can actually only do that on the mammoths. Shame that. 107 bones. I think I'll take this Gargar over here. That should be good. Bam. Okay. I bet these dudes will give us all the epoxy we need. 60, and then whatever else we get from the body. Okay, we have 184 bones. Oh, I didn't even see this here. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. We definitely don't want this hanging around. So this is a Gargar layer. I'm going to drop that miasm into... Oh, I am in trouble now. Into my drop pod. If I can remember where it's at. It's over there. Yeah, typically I try not to carry these on me, but pretty unavoidable, to be honest. I would stop and grab the bones, but I'm taking a lot of damage from the miasm. Okay, let's go ahead and... Okay, cool. I think we're good. Yeah, if I had to carry that around for a while, I'd be probably in some trouble. I'm gonna go grab that cougar's bones, and then we can craft our potbelly stove. Okay. I'm gonna drink my rocks right here, don't mind me. Okay, with these bones, we should be good to craft the last of our epoxy. I believe that should be enough. Okay, while that's doing its thing, I'm gonna just do a couple dangles real quick. Yeah, if I could get the fishing bench made, the basic fishing bench, we should be good to craft a couple of additional lures too for these saltwater fish. It's kind of weird to think that the desert has saltwater, but I suppose it makes sense. Because, like, think about, like, Utah Lake, right? And the Salt Lake, for example. The Salt Lake only has tributaries to the Salt Lake, and all that mineral gets pushed in and stays there. And so that's how you get, you know, a salty lake. So I guess if this doesn't have any lakes that or rivers that leave this lake, yeah, it'd be only tributaries, so this would also be a saltwater. Trying to make sense of the game logic here. Don't know that it's actually how it works. Okay, so with the epoxy here, can we have, yes, perfect. Should be good. Let's go ahead and get these on the fire. We'll just cook everything we can. Ooh, I might as well pull these off, since I have this thing still. Let's do like right here. Let's get this guy going. So let's go bacon first, and then our meats, and then our stringy meat. And then I'm going to toss this on here. Start getting some charcoal made. We have quite a bit of leather. I'm going to go ahead and make rope out of that leather as well. I don't really know what else to do with it, to be honest, guys. Never really known what to do with it. Let's do our fishing bench. Let's see, it's going to require rope, iron, and copper nails. So we do need to make the anvil. Okay. I should have just brought the one from base and put it in my dropship. Oh well. Okay, so there's our potbelly stove. Let's craft. Let's grab both the anvil and potbelly. I think the potbelly, does it have to be placed outside, or does it need to be placed inside? I think it is inside. I'll put it here, right there. I like that. I wonder how far past the top it extends. Can you see it? I can't see it. Not at all. I wonder... No, that's not gonna work. Huh. It just goes up through the ceiling, which is kind of cool. I like the immersive aspect of that. Okay, we have a potbelly stove. That's pretty rad. Let's go ahead and do the fishing bench now. Okay. So for that, we're going to need copper nails. I think I have copper back here. Somewhere. Is it in here? Yep. Let's just do 50 copper nails. And that should be enough. I'm gonna let these ripen, actually. That way I get more water, I think. Okay. So there's our fishing bench. I kind of like the idea of putting our fishing bench near the back door. So if I put this fishing bench here, will it block the window? It does. Okay, so let's just rip out the window. And just put a normal wall up. And I think something like that makes a lot of sense to me. There we go. And now we just need the drying rack. And the drying rack I thought might be kind of rad to put here. I know we can access it from the inside of the house as well. And for the drying rack, all we need is 50 wood, 25 sticks, and 50 fiber. all of which we should have on hand. So 50, ooh, maybe not in the wood. I might not have enough. What did we say? 50, 25, and 50. We have fiber. Yeah. We might have wood in here. I thought we do. Yep, we do. Perfect. Let's go ahead and eat those so they don't go bad. And then our drying rack. Perfect. Let's go ahead and clear this. Let's try that again. There we go. And then we can go back to crafting all the rope. Perfect. And then our drying rack can go right here. This will look like a pretty awesome epic fishing place once it's done. Collect the fishing supplies. Ooh, we get fishing supplies from this? That sounds really nice. Okay, our crocodiles have spawned back in. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my rifle in my inventory and just make some light work of these dudes. Oh. Ow. And a cougar. Nice. Check my 6 here so I don't get murked from behind. Wow, they can really move on the ground. It seems like if you can get a shot in the belly, that's like your best angle. Just anything in the soft part of their body. I would like to grab all the meat, bones, leather, anything I can from these dudes. Oh my gosh, another cougar. Sneaky. Not gonna lie, that scared me. I'm sorry if I just like murdered your guys' ears. It's good to know that this game still keeps me on my toes. Okay, so now that we have that drying rack, I'm actually just gonna toss all that meat onto there. And with that basic fishing bench, we can also now fillet our fish. This is like my favorite part about this fishing bench. You just drop the fish in there and it just does it for you automatically. Requires nothing on your part, which is super, super nice. Okay, so I'm gonna do an order of amount here. Let's do 3, and then that'll help a little bit, I think. Yeah. Okay, we got some blueprint points. We want to make sure to take advantage of that while we're here. I think all we need now, guys, is kind of like some freaking light. I might open up a couple of these windows, but it is pretty dark in here. I keep using my my lantern because it's so dark in here. Let's go ahead and top off. I am in desperate need of water. Holy cow. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and swap back for the fishing pole. We have bones. Let's go ahead and make more epoxy. And then I think I want to do tree sap as well. And then with these leftover sticks, we'll also make additional tree sap. We also want to pull the coal out of here and just focus on anything we can use to make coal. No way, dude. Okay, so the game did crash. I am booting back up right now. I understand the developers have made some adjustments to the server. They've made some improvements, and allegedly it's supposed to be smoother. But here's the issue. I have 1,492 buildings. So a wall, a floor piece, a ceiling piece, any of these buildings, it's like individual pieces, right? Like this wall counts as a building. So that constitutes to this number here. Your deployables, things like crafting benches, a bed, anything that you can put down, a furnace, fireplace, bench, those are your deployables, right? I have 2 mounts. Some of this is actually mine. Most of this is actually mine. And so because these missions and the campaigns, it leaves buildings left over. I was hoping they would like go away, you know, after, let's call it like an in-game week, but unfortunately that is not the case. They seem to stick around a lot longer than that. I don't know if they're planning to fix that anytime soon, but I've definitely made sure to write their team and let them know. Which brings me to where we are now. I'm back in the game. I'm hoping we didn't lose much, if anything. Interesting. I don't see where this ammo has gone. I've noticed that I lose things every time the game crashes. I thought I had another stack of 100 explosive rounds. I do not see it. We're just going to move on here. Most everything is here, as far as I can tell. Oh, it's right here. Dedoy. I'm blind. Totally disregard everything I said. Okay, let's move some of this up out of the way. Don't need that up there. We want those to ripen up. Fur, leather, rope. Okay. Well, we managed to keep everything here still, so that's nice. This is almost done. I think the salt station would be nice. I have one in my dropship, but I might just make one here. Nope, I'm using the one in my dropship. Okay. Cool. Sorry, let me gather my thoughts here for a second. We need to grab stuff from that dropship they just dropped down. Little Gargar Binks over there. Let's see if we can take him out. Okay, we leveled up again, so that's nice. We definitely need blueprint points. I had to abandon my last campaign mission because I didn't have enough blueprint points. So I thought I'd do one of these in the meantime anyway. Okay, so Insatiable Blood Claw. I have meds here for this fight. I think I want to do anti-poison. Let's just pop these actually. Let's just pop them all. Cold Survival, Defensive Combat Inhaler. And let's get into a fight. Just want to make sure nothing's gonna approach me from behind. Okay. Okay, that is doing like almost nothing to him. He must be really attached to that dropship. Right now would be a really good time for my boomstick. Please don't aggro on me. I'm not even gonna risk it. I'm just gonna take him out. Yeah, the last thing I need is to get dogpiled in this fight. I think he's like healed. I don't even know that he's dropped. Okay. Yeah, he heals really fast. Yep, we're getting a boomstick. If I'm not mistaken, we put that dropship back up. We did. Okay. Yeah, this rifle isn't doing anything. Oh, I just got bit by piranha. Jerk. Okay, I'm gonna bring my shot. I should have repaired before I hop back in, but I was like kind of in a hurry. I just wanted to see how much I... Wait. No. I have a better idea. Guys, what am I doing? I've got explosive rounds. I don't know how much more damage. I can pull it up in a second and show you guys. Okay. So it does projectile damage and explosive damage. Plus a 500 bonus of radius damage. Okay. Let's try that again. There we go. That made light work of him. Let's save those for a rainy day, huh? Adult Moa. So I think the game wanted us to grab stuff from this thing. Let's just take all of that. We're definitely going to need the epoxy. So I'm in the business of grabbing bones right now. And then it looks like we got some interesting lures here. So we have the gold ore lure. It does a quality of caught fish increased by 25%, and then it increases the capture zone by 20% as well. And then a couple traps and a preservation crate. A 3D printed crate with an internal battery for keeping contents preserved. Wow. And then a additional refined wood fishing rod. I love it. Oh, that's so I go back up. They're dropping another pod as well. Oh, so this is far from over. Let's see, we have to catch 25 oceanic piranha, 15 titan triggerfish, 15 sea darter, 8 emerald dorado, and then deliver fish chunk stew, dried saltwater fish fillet, grilled saltwater fish fillet sashimi. So we need to catch way more fish than just what it's asking us to catch. In addition, because we need to cook those contents as well, unless it just disappears once we catch those fish. I don't actually know. And I'm assuming it wants us to put all of the contents into here. So, very cool. This is a kind of a fun mission, not gonna lie. It took me way longer because I made it take long, but that's just kind of how I am, to be honest. You guys watch these videos, you know how I am. So, yeah, let's go ahead. I'm gonna do some organization here and bring you back. In 3, 2. Okay, folks. Just doing a little bit of organizing here. I'm going to conduct a test of this preservation case and see if it's actually working. And then I'm also, if I can, I'd like to craft just a basic generic tackle box here. In the meantime, though, I'm going to toss these in the water. I think I can reach them from here. I can definitely reach them from here, I can tell you that. Let's try that again. I think, you know what? I think what I'll do is I'll just make like a little staircase that goes down there. I definitely need more wood for that. Do we have some on hand still? We do. That should be enough, actually. Okay, let's make some room. We got hella leather. I really don't know what to do with this leather, guys. Like, even the fur. Like, I know that you can make them into these little combustible packed fuel bricks. But, it's kind of expensive, honestly. Like, you have to... Let's see, we could do... Let's do one. Do I have any in here? No, I don't. Yeah, let's just do one full stack of wood. So it's 1 tree sap, but then 20 fur. So like, it is nice that you have something to do with all that fur. But man, yeah, I don't know. It seems steep, if you ask me. But let's craft, I think, if we just do like 2. Let's do 2. And then let's do a couple of these as well. Let's just start with 1. See how that goes. And then while that's crafting, I think I need to offload some of this other stuff too. And toss the coal in there. I don't know how much more we'll be using of the furnace. We've basically smelted everything we need. But there's a lot of room back there still. I'm gonna move this back. I think this is why these missions can take longer than they should. Is I don't like to use the P word, but perfectionism. I definitely suffer from like the obsessive part, for sure. A lot of these need like really odd, specific things to craft. There are some generic things you can craft too. I'm gonna toss that whole thing in there. Okay, let's try this. Let's do... I feel like here would be a good spot. Let's go stairs. Ooh. Okay, so either way, it looks like it's... I can't tell if that's in the water or not, but let's just try that. And then deploy... Oh. Okay, that's actually kind of perfect. We can do both of these right here. Do one facing this way. And then another one right next to it. Let's do like there. And then we can put a lure in there that will help to attract a specific type of fish. You'll obviously catch, your generic fish as well. But that thing's definitely going to be our biggest bang for a buck. So I think I want to do one more here. Let's do another floor piece. Okay. Cool. You know what? I am going to move it. Let's do one on each side. Did that not work? And let's do this one sideways. Cool. I'm digging it so far, guys. Okay, let's swap fishing poles. And then with this fishing pole, let's add our gold lure. I'm not actually convinced it's the better lure per se. Interesting, our meat's like rotted basically. And this thing ran out of fuel. Let's do our wood. Okay. So all that's left to do now really is just catch our fish. So let's go ahead and start doing the dangle. I would be very interested in crafting a couple rad saltwater lures. They have some pretty dope buffs on them too. Actually, I was like reading over them. I made some back in my actual base. I'm a fan. They have like an 80% increase. Okay, so here's our oceanic piranha. Oh, he's getting away. Dang. I would think like catching fish with the better poles would be easier. Okay. Decent fish, not bad. Let's get him onto the fillet. I don't, because this is what I'm curious about. Does it say we? Okay, so we didn't lose. Perfect. Okay. Oh, so I wonder if that's applying to our fish traps, though. It is. So what I want to figure out is if these fish... We can leave that there. Do these fish leave... Like, over on the left-hand side where it says Oceanic Piranha 1, Emerald Dorado 1. Okay, I don't think it does. Okay. So that's a good sign. I'm going to toss these into here for now. It's basically a refrigerator that doesn't need refrigeration. I'm definitely keeping that after this mission is done. That's awesome. Okay, so we don't lose, actually, those fish. Perfect. Look at that giant fish. He just swam through our trap. That's wild. And then let's start looking at recipes. So it said fish stew. So here's our curry fish chunk stew. It's asking for 20 fish chunk stew. Okay, so we can probably start knocking that out. What's the ingredients? Corn and squash. Huh. Okay, so for that, we're going to want our sickle. Oh, I just dropped it. And then we're going to need to grab corn somehow. There is no corn here. And squash. There might be squash out here. I thought I saw some earlier. Tons of aloe. Grab the fiber, because we definitely need it. I feel like this mission is going to turn into like a pretty long one, actually. I could have swore I saw squash, though. Let's just move this stuff out of the way. Okay. I don't see squash. I could have swore, guys. I might be tripping, though. Aloe. Is there not an aloe seed? I guess not. Got another storm coming, of course. Very light sandstorm, it says, so not even gonna worry too much about that. I don't think there's squash out here, but it says squash and corn. So let's just figure out which recipes we're going to need. Let's do this guy. So the chunk stew, the fish chunk stew specifically requires corn and squash. And then it says dried saltwater fish fillets. We can do that on the potbelly. I would assume dried fish, grilled freshwater fillet, and then there's a grilled saltwater fillet, but it said dried. Let's just type in fish. Narrow it down a little bit here. Fried fish chunks, fish chunk stew, fillet, grilled saltwater fillet. Okay. Doesn't require anything fancy. Our curry though is going to require soybeans, and then we need corn and squash. Damn. Maybe the orbital exchange. We just drop down a couple of crops. I think I have one. I don't have one. It's back at base. Okay, so let's do farming. Let's do one for squash, one for corn, and I thought we needed soybeans as well. One for soybeans. And then let's do squash, corn, and soybeans. Cool. Let's go ahead and drop that to ourselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I want a couple boxes of ammo for the rifle. That should do us just fine. Cool. It is dropping there. And then once we get back with that stuff, I think we should sleep. If the desert isn't creepy enough during the daytime, it's a lot creepier at night. And I think that's why I keep saying it's like a survival horror game under the right conditions. Okay, so our fish traps are doing great. I can see that that's slowly climbing. Let's go ahead and hop into our cot here. Let's shut these windows too. Okay, it is now the morning time. I think it would be smart if with the meat we made here, we craft some fat for this guy, my lantern. It is the primary fuel type. It is the only fuel type actually. Let's put that in our crafting bench and then recharge. There we go. Keep that in there. Let's go ahead and consume the ammo. And then let's go ahead and drop our food plots. I think we could do just back here on the porch, honestly. Wouldn't mind like a wraparound porch. I don't know that we need that much space though. I wonder if it'll let me do it here. Okay, that's not very immersive, but I hope you guys don't mind. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and let's do the third one back in this corner so we still have like room to walk down to our fish trap down there. And then we need to essentially consume. So those all went into our seed pouch, which is okay. We need the squash, soybeans, and corn. And then I'm going to need the ability to water these. And our anvil is here. I believe we can make an iron bucket with 10 iron ingot. So we have 11. That should work beautifully. Let's go and craft 1 set of nails. And then craft our bucket. Perfect. Just gonna drop this here for now. Okay, so we can fill our bucket just here. And then we can water these. Water, farming plot, water, water. Perfect. Okay, so now let's go ahead, plant our squash here. Our soybeans in the back right corner. And then our squash corn here. Okay. So, I mean, they do ideally need to be plugged in to power, but they'll work just fine as planters themselves. You don't actually need to plug them in. Let's drop our seeds back into our seed pouch here. We got some bones to get rid of and some fiber to get rid of as well. Okay, so that's going strong. Let's grab that. Salting station would be really nice, and especially if there was some salt here, that'd be even better. Let's go ahead and throw our spoiled meats in here. Let's get rid of some of this fiber. Throw some fiber in here as well. And then our bones, let's get rid of those. I'm just gonna put our meats in here for now, guys. Dried saltwater fish. Is that not what that was? Dried saltwater fillet. What's the difference? Dried saltwater fish fillet. Is that what that was? Yeah, fish fillet. Let's just dump that into the pod. That's right there. Hopefully before it spoils. Won't take very long, actually. Okay, and we have 2 dried saltwater fish fillets in there right now. Perfect. Only 18 left to go. Let's see here. And then we got our fish trap is going. We haven't caught any of the Titan triggerfish in these fish traps yet. That's interesting. So I think we could probably do... Let's just do fish or fillet. FI. Well, let's see what's here. Soybean stir fry. Let's do FI. Okay, so we got our chunks. Chunk stew. Fish fillet curry. Saltwater fillets. And grilled. So only our grilled variations. I thought we could dry on the putty stove. I guess we can't. So that's why we'll need this guy here. Raw white meat. And our... Actually, let's turn that into fat as well. I'm not actually sure how long this is going to take, so might as well just make all of that into fats. Let's get this guy going. Dried white meat. We can put in our... This thing is nice. Honestly, I am actually really glad I did this mission. I can basically use this anywhere I go as a refrigerator. That is pretty dope. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull traps. I think I'm gonna pull that out. Just eat that. Turn this into fat on our... Oh, there it is. Let's do max. And then let's do max. Epic. Okay. So now... Yeah, we did pretty decent here. I'm just gonna leave that there. Also decent. What is this? A sea darter. Interesting. It doesn't count as having caught it though. 93%, dude, that's so epic. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna want to fillet these out, I think, because it says dried saltwater fish fillet, so we can just do all of these probably. We need a total of 20 and 25 grilled. So either way, very nice. So that's exactly 20. So with that 20, we could do the grilled saltwater fish fillet. Let's do that. So grilled saltwater fish fillet, 20, and we need fuel. Let's steal our coal. That'll keep this thing going good and long. Okay, so that says it'll take 2 minutes. That's not bad. And I think we just do some fishing, honestly, while that's going. Probably catch a couple fish in that time. If you guys can hear my 70-pound dog snoring in the background, I apologize. Boobs is taking a nap. His name is in fact Boobs. He is named after the monkey on the TV show called Community. If you recall Troy and Abed, they had a pet monkey named Annie's Boobs. It just seemed weird if I named him Annie's Boobs, because then I think people would ask who's Annie, and don't want to make it weird. 89%. That's a new record. Let's go ahead and get them on the table. Freshwater fish fillet. So I think with this one we could probably do dried saltwater fish fillet. We just mix it up. And that's going to take a little under a minute. How are these guys doing? Let's go ahead and toss these into here. I don't want to run the risk of these spoiling on us. Okay. Let's get the pole out. Do a big cast. Yeah, I think this is an epic spot. I think it's fun because the game developers obviously know like a good spot because they make them. They make like these epic places that you can do base builds at. Yeah, so I guess it worked out nicely for me that this base build is here. It also means I can leave it here, so I'm a fan of that. I think if I was smart during the downtime, ooh, here we go, Titan Piranha. 98%, dude. Holy. That's epic. This thing is huge. Okay, let's go ahead and do a fillet with him as well. We'll throw that on here. And this should be done. And then these we can take with us as well. I'll just go toss those in to our pot over there. A little Gargar Binks over here. Mad chillin'. Mad dead. I don't know what that was in the water. Cougar. Coming right at us. Dead cougar. Slowly chipping away at this. 3 and 20 of 25. That was nice. That was really, really nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut this guy up. Just take all. Grab his bones. I know I'm probably going to improve this base on my downtime. And so I'm going to need all this epoxy, guys. None of it's going to waste right now. Which is not typical. But everything is like super intentional right now. Let's go ahead and toss them all into here. And then we can just make epoxy with what's in there already. And then these guys probably turn into fat, to be honest. I would really like some lights in here. Right now I have all the windows shut just because these storms that blow through, but it's kind of dark in here, huh? Okay. We can shut that off. Stick all these meats in here. I'm like half tempted to leave this here, but I know that if the right storms come through while I'm gone, this base will it'll be destroyed. So I don't know if I want to do that. Okay, we still need dried saltwater fish fillet. Oh, we have exactly 5 though. Let's just do the grilled saltwater fish fillet with these. And that should finish off the 25 grilled saltwater fish fillet. Let's take a look at our plants. Ooh, they might need some water. Okay, that's not quite there. There's the corn. Yeah, oddly enough, the soybeans are doing the best out of all of these. Let's do an inspection here. Desert biome. Spoil time to harvested items. Yeah, that's fair. We still got all of these though, so that's nice. I'm not sure that we can overwater per se. It's just a buff of 9 minutes. So we'll just keep that topped off. And then let's go ahead and pull traps. Let's see what we got. Got 2 fish in here, a bunch of sponges. I don't think we need these, but I'm gonna actually grab them just in case. Ooh, Titan triggerfish. I have not seen that yet. That thing looks crazy. That's a crazy looking fish, bro. Let's go ahead and make some fillets with them. And we need basically just dried. Because we got our last 5. There's our last 5 right there. Actually, let's just sort this real quick. There's our last 5. And then we got 5 here. Another 14 on the way. So we basically just need one more fillet and we'll have our 20 dried saltwater fish fillets. That is good enough for me. We can do another fish. And then we still need saltwater fillet sashimi and fish chunk stew. I was under the impression we needed to make the curry, but we actually don't need to make the curry at all. It's just a fish chunk stew. Oh. We got a sea darter here. I think this is our first sea darter on the rod. Oh, oh, oh. There we go. Whoa, that thing looks interesting. Okay, so let's try chunks with this guy. How many chunks do we get? We get 2 chunks. And so we need 20 of the fish chunk stew. And for the fish chunk stew, Let's just do fish. F-I. Fish chunk stew. That we need the corn and squash for. Okay, so we can make... Oh, so it's one chunk per stew. Okay, so we just need hella squash and hella corn. So our squash is about halfway. And our corn is just past halfway. Yeah, that's going to be, I think, the challenge right now, guys, is just keeping these watered up. I think I'm going to pull... Yeah, I'm going to pull the soybeans. Oh. What's happening? There we go. I'm going to pull the soybeans. And I'm honestly probably going to put a thing of squash in there. So it grows faster. I don't imagine that the squash will give us very much. So that's why I'm doing 2 planters of squash. I imagine we'll get quite a bit from each harvest of corn. But we'll see. I don't know. Okay. Then with what we do have, I wonder if we can make... So the curry is freshwater fish fillet and animal fat. Huh. Well, we got hella animal fat, I'll tell you that. Let's do just a stack of 10. I just kind of want to test out this recipe. And then we need fillets. So let's save the chunks for our fish chunk stew. And then I think we have some dried fillets on here. Let's get those out of the heat. Why is this thing still going? That thing's been going this whole time. Interesting. And then I'm going to put actually these sponges into the cook station. I don't know if any of these recipes require water. No, they don't. I don't think we need these then, if that's the case. I mean, I'm sure they'd be useful under different circumstances, but in these, we just don't need them. I thought we might, but we definitely don't. Cool. Okay, so that's still pumping out. I don't know if these dudes are going to be problems. Ow. They were definitely problems. Yeah, I'm noticing a little bit of a lag in the game right now. Like, part of me wants to set the save time to be sooner than it has been, but that honestly might create more problems. I don't know. Bacon. I do like bacon. Bacon is good. Yeah, a cougar coming after us. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of this stringy meat, more than I know what to do with, to be honest. But I think for right now, we just craft it into normal meats. And I might do a second drying rack and just make like jerky with it. And that's going to cost us almost 50 and 25 sticks. Let's go ahead and grab out our medium sandstorm. Okay, let's get these doors closed. I don't know how these plants are gonna fare during all that. It says they have 6 minutes left of water. I'm just gonna top them off real quick. Fill this bad boy back up. And then, oh, no, I was trying to fill this up, not drink water. What the heck? Well, that sucks. Let's go ahead and pull any fish we have. Get back inside. Yeah, the stairs are breaking already from the sandstorm. Love that for us. Oh, we got a ghostly tang. That is a new fish. Not seen that one yet. And I'm basically just going to run around with the hammer, keeping this base together, because it doesn't take much for these wood bases to fall apart. And that worries me a little bit. If I'm being completely honest, I will probably change focus here a little bit to upgrading the base. We'll see. Yeah, this storm's going nuts, so I'm going to go ahead and shut all these windows. So far, though, I can hear some cracking, so I'm sure we're losing somewhere in the stairs, it looks like. I mean, it's doing okay. I thought it was going to be worse, to be honest, but so far, so good. I think a floor torch would be dope, except that my entire base is made out of wood. Watering can would be really nice for these plants. Recovery fertilizer, what does that do? Very nice. Resistance fertilizer, additional storm resistance, progenitive fertilizer. You lose 100% of the planted crop yield, but you gain seeds and harvesting by 300%. I'm also going to do that. I'm going to do the tonic. That's specific to a mission I have coming up. And then the rest I will save for the time being. Okay, we are taking damage. So far the floor is doing okay. Ceiling's holding up for the most part. Probably wait till the storm is completely passed before I repair anymore. It's about to pass here pretty soon. Okay folks, these last 2 storms that rolled through knocked down some trees, so I'm gonna take advantage of these down trees and just chop them up so they don't go to waste. Might as well make use of them since they're already down anyway. And then I'll store those in the base. Got a couple more here. We got room. Just gonna go ahead and grab these real quick. There we go. Couple more. We definitely won't be wanting for wood anytime soon, I can tell you that. Okay, so we're at the point now where we can finally harvest the squash and corn. Let's go ahead and toss those into here for now. And then let's clear out the traps. See what else we got in here. Perfect. So I think this is a saltwater fish. Yep. Let's grab these as well. Drop the sponge and the plants. And as a matter of fact, I might even drop these two. There we go. And let's wait for more fish. Okay, so I just realized for the saltwater sashimi, we actually need carrots. So, ordering some carrots now. I'm gonna drop that down to us. And we'll get that in the third crop plot that's going. We got our squash and our corn going strong. Piranha, just got bit. Piranha, just got bit again. And then in the background, guys, I've got the base expanding right now as well. More on that in a little bit. Okay, we have an earthquake going on right now, and I think it's because there's a giant sandworm about to attack the base. So I would really like for that to not be a thing. I'm going to go ahead and get this ready with some explosive rounds. It's leaving. Okay, good. That's what we want. Yeah, as if this wasn't a struggle enough, man. He was like right in here when that earthquake started. Okay, so because this squash is done, I'm going to go ahead and harvest it, pull it, and then in here, this is where we'll put our carrots. So let's go ahead, deploy. Got our carrots going. And then I think there's still room. No, there's not. What do we got going on in here? We can drop. Oh, that's why. Okay. So I'll just make some vegetable oil with all of these. But for the time being, I definitely want my carrots to go in there. Let's go ahead and drop our carrots. Perfect. Yeah, we can definitely use the vegetable oil. So let's go ahead and max that out. And then we can toss the extras in there as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and craft that tackle box. The refined wood rod seems to be better than the wooden fishing rod, so we'll just stick to the refined rod for now. There's our tackle box. Had another gar layer pop up. So I'm just going to go ahead and make light work of this real quick. Just get rid of this all. And I think my pod is still way over there, so I think on the way back I'd like to grab that miasm. I haven't messed around with it very much. I think you can craft with it. I've seen, or I believe I've seen, I could be wrong, but I thought there was like things you could specifically craft with it. Oh, and we got exotics this time too, so that's nice. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and run for life. Dead hyena. Just gonna cross the water here. Pods all the way over there. It is really doing a lot of damage, or so it seems. Before I dump it, I just want to see what that 109% debuff is. I haven't actually figured that out yet. I don't know if it's destroying me. I can tell that it's harming me, I just don't know. While carrying disease or infected items, periodically take poison damage. I see, okay. So let's go ahead and dump that. We still have the anti-poison vaccine, so that definitely helps. There we go. We're good. Free and in the clear now. So, still waiting to catch more fish with these fish traps. I've kind of just like relied on these at this point. And then these drop, drop, drop. And then let's take a look at the corn. Almost 100%. The corn, carrots, and squash just need more time. Okay. This may cause like stability issues, but I think at this point the game is lagging so much, I'm a little bit worried it's gonna die, crash and die again. So I'm just gonna turn that up to a minute. So every minute it'll save now. Excellent. So it looks like our carrots and corn and squash are done. Let's go ahead and harvest. And then I'll go ahead and just pull seeds. We don't need those as far as I can tell anymore. For now we'll leave the crops here. I don't think those crop plots being there will hurt anyone. And then I'll figure out our recipes and start cooking. Okay, so over at the cooking station, let's go ahead and start our sashimi. And I think it needed 10, and we're about to craft 12, so that's perfect. There we go. And then I've got our dried saltwater fillets, 14 of them. And then our 5 grilled saltwater fillet. So we have the dried saltwater, grilled saltwater fillets, and then our chunks for our squash and corn. And that I think is enough. Let's just, I think it's actually on the pot belly. So, fish chunk stew. Let's go ahead and max that out. And it asked for 20 fish chunk stew, and we just threw 24 in there. So we should be good. I'm going to go ahead and run these on me right now over to that pod. That way they don't expire. That would be big sad. All that hard work. Crocodile right here. Dude, these things are robust, man. Okay, so... and sashimi. Okay, so now all we need are 3 dried saltwater fish fillets. I thought we did that. And then our 20 fish chunk stew. Okay, excuse me. We're making decent progress. We just need to catch more fish, and then we can get these recipes all done up. So we need 3 more dried saltwater fish fillets. So I've got meats in here right now. Let's just move these out of the way. They are not the priority. And let's get our saltwater fish fillets going. Cool. So while that's doing its thing, it's about a minute each. Let's see where we are. Fish chunk stew. Just gonna run these to here. Get those on ice, so to speak. I'm gonna leave these chunks in here. Okay. Let's go ahead and check our traps. Very nice. We seem to be catching a lot of the same fish. I think it'd be great if we could catch the others that we're trying to get. Let's go ahead and dump these in. So we still have the lure in that one. The lure is gone from this one. I think that's okay though. I think we'll still obviously catch fish. And go ahead and flay these out. And then let's throw our squash in our 3D printed refrigerator here. This should be done. Okay, and all it asked for was 20, so I'm going to throw the extra 4 in there. And then our dried saltwater fish fillets. Should be close. We need 1 more minute on these, and we'll have our third and final dried saltwater fish fillet. But let's go ahead and toss these into the pot as well. I don't mind making the trip back and forth. I'd rather do that than have to remake any of those recipes. So it's just one dried saltwater fish fillet, which will be done any second now. And then we've got basically all of the fish still need to be caught. And for that, we're probably going to whip out the fishing pole. I thought about doing like a fancy lure, like a saltwater lure. These are all freshwater. So that's a saltwater. 10% caught saltwater fish quality. 10% length of the caught fish. And 10% fishing zone. If it were possible to do platinum weave, I think this would be epic. 80% to catch a rare fish. And then the 10% increase to the quality of the fish and 20% to the actual weight of the fish caught. So that'd be cool. Unfortunately though, these basically require platinum weave. And I don't think I have the ability to make platinum weave. I think that's like... So you can make platinum sheath, but I don't know that you can make platinum weave on this, can you? No. Yeah, you need the textiles bench, I think. Shame that. And the textiles bench requires what exactly? Probably wood, stone. We got wood and stone. So unfortunately the textiles bench also does not permit the platinum weave. I thought this is where we'd be able to do it, but it's not. I was wrong. Huh. All that's left to do now is fish. Got our dried saltwater fish fillet. Should be done by now. We just need a Titan triggerfish, a sea darter, emerald dorado, or oceanic piranha. Either of those 4 fish are going to help us. So we got an oceanic piranha right here. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab our dried fish. Once we toss these into our pod, I believe our pod should take off. And all that's left for us to do is catch these fish. There we go. Yep. Just in time for a weather event. We got a heat wave coming. Find shelter to protect yourself. Got a Gargar Binks. Let's go ahead and get him out. Okay. Here comes our heat wave. I believe everything out here should be fine. Not really super invested in anything that's out there right now. Okay, let's toss the fish in there. Yeah, everything in here should be fine. I suppose I could start cooking these up. I actually haven't tried any of that yet. What kind of food buff does that give us? So the fish chunk stew gives you 195% of your maximum health, an additional 98 points of maximum stamina. It gives you 13% stamina regen, and then it subtracts 13% of any action that you would have by just, I don't know, probably jumping, things like mining, probably even holding down a bow. So just like any stamina that would have been used for actions, and then just adds an additional 7% damage buffer. So I mean, not bad. Not the best, but certainly not bad. There are definitely worse things. And then I think I'm just going to cook everything on here. So let's start with our... Let's do grilled saltwater fish fillets. Oh, that was on. Okay. Is it on? I don't know. It's clear. Let's just do... There we go. And we can do these. And then those. And these. And then those. Wow. Okay, we got another earthquake coming, which means there's a sandworm nearby. I just hope he doesn't come this way. Keep moving. Sweet. I think we're good. Basically, just gonna keep fishing. Try and help with the progress of catching these fish. Still need 5 more oceanic piranha and 3 more titan triggerfish. 6 more of the... Oh no, 8 more of the sea darter. And then 3 of the emerald dorado. Not bad. Unfortunately, this does not help us at all, but it's 100% quality, and it will be my first of the ghostly tang and my PB. That definitely deserves a selfie. Let's get the base here in the background. Nice. Zoom in a little bit. Hell yeah. We'll never need to catch another one of those fish ever again, but I'm sure we will. It just seems likely at this point. I do wish you could sit right here. That'd be cool. But yeah, guys, so far, decent progress. Got those traps still going. Oh, here we go. Sea darter. This is one of the ones we need. Oh, there we go. Sweet. Let's cast that way. There we go. Another piranha. Sweet. We'll take it. And just while we're waiting for these fish to be caught in those traps, I've had this concrete mixture going in the background, so I'm going to go ahead and level this bad boy up. So I'll likely need to repair as I go, but most of these should be... Oh, that's not happy at all. I'm going to go back to wood. Okay, I am going to repair this base first, and then get the right supports in before I transfer all of it over to concrete. That could be a very expensive mistake if I don't do that first. Well, folks, we're basically just waiting to catch the last few fish we need. We need 3 emerald dorado and 2 of the sea darter. That's all we need. Alright, folks, we're damn near close. We just need 1 sea darter and 1 emerald dorado. Alrighty, folks, we are 2 fish away from completing this mission. It has been a long one, that's for sure. Oh, we just caught an emerald dorado in one of our fish traps. So we are one fish away. Got a ghostly tang here. I wasn't really going to reel him in. There we go. We just need one sea darter left. So close. Here, fishy, fishy. Got a Titan Piranha on right now. They are big, give them that. Okay, folks, here's our last fish. This is the last one we needed. Sea darter. I'm so ready to be done with this. Come here.
Cenotai more or less owns space, so it's smart to stay on their good side. Keep it up.
Well, folks, if you made it this far into today's episode, just know that I appreciate the hell out of you. If you liked this episode, please consider giving it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please consider subscribing to the channel. It is free and it helps to build this channel, gets people like you who like watching this content and their videos to go into their feed. And so until next time, take care and have a good one.